And on today's episode, I'm bringing you one of my coolest, quirkiest, grandfatherist guests of the day, Mr. Joshua Christensen. And so Joshua and I have known each other, I want to say a little over a year now. We've been able to engage, hang out. We even spent time under the same roof a few weeks ago. But I wanted to bring him on because he has over 30 years of financial and real estate experience and is here to deliver the ugly truth of some of the things that happened through his different journeys, and is author of the book called Get Unbroke. So everybody, welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joshua Christensen.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
So Get Unbroke is such an interesting topic. How in the world did you land on that name? And tell me a little bit about the book, man.
That's a great question, and that was a really awkward moment of silence, so we'll just give it up for silence. Come on. Dude, so I come from a very, very broken, jacked up past. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this the other day, and I realized that my story is so incredibly unique, and there's nobody else in the world ever that has ever experienced anything like me. Said no one ever. Right? but it hit me because it's like, no matter where we come from, we all have this perspective, like we're the only ones that this ever happened to, right? But what was really cool, I was having a conversation with a friend of ours, Stephanie Hyde, give a big shout out. I was having a conversation with her the other day, and she goes, everything in your book, everything that you're doing, it's all about get unbroke. You've got the unbroken tribe. Everything you do is unbroken. And I said, yeah, that's right. And she said, well, based on your story, you are unbreakable. So I'm not going to give you the too long version, but I started my career in banking and managed a $40 million branch 25 years ago, and had I had close to 20 full-time employees that worked for me and all that fun stuff. Well, I ended up transitioning into the mortgage world, and it was shortly after my first daughter was born. My wife wanted to come home and stay home, and I needed to make more money because contrary to popular belief, bank managers really don't make all that much money. I needed to replace her income, so I went into straight commission sales 24 years ago. Started writing residential mortgages. Everything was fantastic until this little blip in time. Some people might have heard of it, but it was in 2008, if you know the time I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. The country went through the Great Recession, and suddenly my income dried up and it went away. I mean, we lost everything. I was making about 20% of what I had been making prior to the recession. I followed all of the rules. I started investing in my 401k. I lived below my means. We didn't live high on the hog. We were saving money every month. I was putting money away, doing all the stuff that we're taught to do. When the economy shifted, my income went away, but the expenses that I had didn't go away. And suddenly I was not just broke financially, but I was broken as a man. And I came in, my kids were still knee high. And every time you walk in the door when they're that age, they come screaming across the house like the most amazing thing has just happened. And they both latch onto one of my legs, and they would stand on my feet as I walked through the house, and my girls would look at me and I was their hero. Mm-hmm. Well, every day during that time, I came home and I felt like the biggest zero in their life. And it was just a miserable, miserable, miserable time. It took me about 3-4 years to get over my victim mentality of how the world crashed around me. The economy sucked. Everybody else was doing well but me. It was the biggest pity party, and I was the only person there. And, but it was a party. But I woke up in 2010, and I was angry because we'd already lost our house in foreclosure, and I'm living in what at that time was my first rental house. We had moved into it. And I resented coming home every day because that was supposed to be making me money. And now I'm living in it. And it was not our lifestyle that we wanted, nothing. So I resented where I lived. I mean, you can imagine the mind games that were going on, right?